Hi guys, I'm Chesstrovert and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be presenting you the famous game, the opera game played between Paul Morphy and Duke Karl and Count Isouard. As you can see, the name is mentioned over here. So this is also known as the most famous game ever played, and we will get to see why. So let's dive deep into the game. The game starts off with e4, e5, knight f3, d6, the Philidor defense. d4 has been played and bishop g4. Bishop g4 as marked by Fisher, Robert James Fisher, Bobby Fischer. He claims this as a weak move because the opponent of Paul Morphy, Duke Karl and Count Isouard, he prematurely develops the bishop by pinning the knight to the queen. This is a bad move. We will get to see why. Because immediately Paul Morphy captures and bishop takes the knight, queen takes bishop, and as you can see, the queen puts pressure on the f7 pawn, d takes e5, and now Paul Morphy is already exerting pressure on the f7 pawn. He wants to do it even in a better way. So pause the videos and try to find out how Paul Morphy added another attacker on the f7 pawn. He played bishop c4. Bishop c4 here attacks the pawn for the second time and increases the pressure on the f7 pawn. His opponent defends with knight f6. Knight f6 here cuts the vision of the queen from this pawn. So right now this queen is not eyeing the f7 pawn anymore. So let's see how Paul Morphy continues. Now he was an attacker, he was a very creative player. He decided that no, I want to attack, I don't want to play passively. So this is a weakness because this is only protected by the king, and also this square is also a weakness. So guys, I will ask you again to pause your videos and find out what Paul Morphy played to put pressure on the f7 pawn and the b7 pawn. Can you find out? I'll give you some time. Okay, if you found out, very good. Let's continue watching. He played queen b3. Queen b3 puts pressure on the b7 pawn and the f7 pawn because both the queen and bishop create a battery and they attack the f7 pawn. So yeah, this formation right here, this is called a battery. This can happen with a queen and rook or even two rooks, queen and bishop. Even the bishop is behind the queen and the queen is in front of the bishop. They are swapped. Even in that case, it's called a battery. So let's see how the game continues. Paul Morphy's opponent plays queen to e7, here defending this pawn for the second time. The king defends and the queen defends, and as you can see, the b7 pawn is really weak. It's undefended. It's an LPDO. What's an LPDO? Loose pieces drop off or drop out, whichever you want to call it. So Paul Morphy can take this pawn immediately and he can capture the rook because the rook is undefended and it will be trapped. But obviously this is such a famous game and it is the almost most famous game of all time. Not for such a petty reason. Paul Morphy, being such a great player that he is, he doesn't play that and he just develops his knight. His idea is to put pressure on the king through this square. Like this, he will put his bishop over here and he will put pressure on the king. So let's see what his opponent plays. His opponent knows that Paul Morphy wants to put his bishop on the b5 square and give a check to the king. It is a very dangerous check. So in order to prevent that, his opponent plays c6 here, occupying this square and blocking the bishop's check with the help of the pawn. Let's see what happens. Next, Paul Morphy pins the knight to the queen because what he achieves with this, he achieves two things. Paul Morphy achieves development. As you can see, uh, his opponents only two pieces are developed. One, two, the queen and the knight. Also, the queen is not actively developed because it is defending the f7 square. It's not called active development. The queen is just doing a passive job. And now Paul Morphy has developed one, two, three, four pieces. Also, he is ready to castle on either side of the board, whichever side he wants to castle. Let's see what happens. His opponent plays b5. He wants to play aggressively. He wants to tell Paul Morphy that, yeah, you have more development, but I don't want to give you any time to attack. I will attack you. I will attack your bishop. Now, what will you do, Mr. Morphy? Let's see. And Morphy here absolutely showing why he is the player that he is. He plays knight captures on b5. The idea being, if the pawn takes, bishop will take, giving a check to the king. Let's see what happened. Takes, takes. And now the bishop is giving a check to the king like this. The game continued with knight to d7, blocking the check, and now Paul Morphy decides to castle. Now, what does he achieve with this move? He achieves again two things. He achieves development, that is, he brings his rook into the game and he achieves king safety. So, that's one thing which he achieves. And second, as you can see, he has how many attackers in the game. Whenever you are attacking in chess, you need to bring all the pieces to the party. You need to bring all the attackers together. If not all, like the most number of attackers you can, you need to bring to the party. That's why this is such an instructive game. He has brought one, two, three, and now this rook is the fourth attacker. So as you can see, all the pieces are doing something. This bishop is pinning this knight to the king. This bishop is pinning this knight to the queen. This queen is putting pressure on the f7 square, and this rook is also putting pressure on the d7 square. Let's see how the game continues. And now his opponent plays rook d8. Rook d8, again, all of the moves his opponent is playing are passive moves. They are like defending the f7 square, defending the d7 square, and his position is looking very cramped. Let's see how Paul Morphy capitalizes on this. Paul Morphy continues by sacrificing the rook. The idea is that if you take with the rook, obviously your rook is completely pinned, and later he can bring his other rook into the game. Also, he can bring his queen into the game like this, or somehow through d3 also he can do that. So that is Paul Morphy's idea. And now his opponent captures, and now Paul Morphy plays rook to d1. He brings his second rook to the party. What he has done, as you can see, he has brought 1, 2, 3, 4, all the pieces to the party, and attackers to the game, while his opponent, his bishop is inactive. It has been inactive throughout the game. Till now it hasn't come out of its home square. It's undeveloped. This rook is undeveloped. This knight is developed, but this is pinned to the queen, so the knight can hardly do anything. It cannot do anything at all. This rook is pinned to the king, and this queen is just hopeless because she is defending the f7 square. And yeah, it's just hopeless. And as you can see from the evaluation bar, it's plus 6.3. I will show you, plus 6.38. So now let's see what his opponent does. His opponent decides to play queen to e6. What is the idea of this? There is one, it's not a hard and fast rule in chess, but there is a saying that when you are getting attacked, you need to exchange queens so that you can reduce the firepower of your opponent. Let's say your opponent is attacking you with all his forces, and his most powerful force is obviously the queen, because in chess the most powerful piece on the board apart from the king is the queen. So his opponent decides that, see, Paul Morphy, you are attacking me, but I want to exchange the queens and I don't want to give you any scope of attack. I don't want to let you gather your army together and just attack me. So let's exchange the queens. Let's see what Paul Morphy does. He captures the bishop first, and as you can see, this is a fork. The bishop is attacking the queen and the king together. So right now his opponent is very confused what to do, because if you capture with the knight, the bishop's eye to this square has been opened. and then he can develop all sorts of attacks from here. The queen can come over here. Yeah, so this is what. And now let's see what his opponent does. He captures with the knight. As I said, he captures with the knight. And now, for all of the audience watching, I would ask you to pause your videos and find out the mating combination in two moves. There is a checkmate in two moves. Can you find out? Pause the videos and write it down in the comment section below. I will check the answers. So yeah, I'll give you the time. Write it down. So yeah, guys, if you found the answer, congratulations. Write it down in the comment section below. I'll be very happy to see your answers. And Paul Morphy excellently played Queen check on b8. The idea is that I'll remove the arrows. The queen is giving a check to the king. It is covering these squares. The bishop is covering, sorry, not that. The bishop is covering these squares. And now, if you see properly, if the knight moves, then the rook's path to this square on d8 will be opened, and that is called the opera mate. It has derived its name from this game, I believe. And queen b8 here is a brilliancy, because if you capture with the knight like this, then the rook will come on d8 and it will be a mate, which is the opera mate. As I said, the name is derived from this game, most probably. So yeah, guys, his opponent captures and Paul Morphy plays rook d8 checkmate. So yeah, this was the game, the most famous game of all time, as they say, the opera game played between Paul Morphy and Duke Carl and Count Isward. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you all enjoy my channel's content. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I'll bring more such content to you all. And thanks for your love and support. I really appreciate it. And comment down below your thoughts on this video and this game, and whatever I asked you to do, the mating combinations or the moves which I asked you to find out. Pause the video and write it down below. And yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.